You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm and Jupiter. A world-class experience. Visit BremenBMW.com. And by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
What's up? Thank you for tuning in, hopefully to me for a second time today. Your host Kev, got Ricky Bobby, Dooners up in here, and we're bringing our man Leo back.
He's in for a shellacking.
Well, hopefully this is more of like
an
a vent session for him. I mean, it's not like I need to beat up Leo. I think Leo needs to just, talk a little bit about his Yankees last night, which yesterday on Kevin's Other Show, we were talking about how this probably was going to be soul cleansing for the Yankees because this was a chance for them to get out of New York, go against a rival. It's one of those things where whatever mind games are going on that's affecting Stanton and Judge and Sanchez, that they can just kind of get in there and all you're thinking about is beating your rival. And so you just expected great things and a different looking Yankees team to come out last night. And I don't know how you want to put it, Leo. I don't know how you want to put it. I don't know what you want to say. I don't know who you want to blame, but I mean, you got hammered. I mean, you got soul-crushingly hammered. It was the Yankees' worst loss to the Red Sox in 9 years. 14-1. The final in Boston last night.
It looked like the Marlins.
And by the way, it never even felt that close, to be honest with you. So here's the thing, and these are not excuses because, as I said a couple weeks ago when I came in here, Yankee fans by nature were pessimistic.
Yeah.
The injuries that have already happened to this team are insane. Hicks with another stomach injury. Drury, who forgot that he had migraines his whole life.
Whoops.
All of a sudden, he's got blurred vision and he can't play third base anymore.
Jeez.
I mean, there's just a couple of things. Sabathia out with a hip, which were we really surprised that he was out with a hip. But it's all those things adding up. Judge is having a great year. Judge is hitting like 330 right now.
Yeah.
That kid's actually on fire. Didi's on fire. Sanchez is I think what I saw today, he's got the second worst batting average in the majors right now.
Wow.
He is batting .056.
There's not even a 1 in front of it?
Not a 1.
Wow.
It's
Wait,
an O.
.056?
Yes. He's like 2 for 36.
I guess.
Okay? Wow. So that's a problem.
Well.
But here's the other thing too. Again, let me preface this. When you go back to the Boston series, and to your point, JD Martinez for the Red Sox, he's also gotten off to a very slow start. Here's what we all need to understand and remember: JD Martinez, just like Stanton, are both coming from the National League.
Yeah.
They are seeing a bunch of pitchers for the first time.
That's true, though.
All right.
Yeah.
So, and it's 30 degrees out. It's effing cold.
Yeah.
Still.
But here's the thing. With all that said, and there's a big Boston Red Sox fan in this building by the name of Bill Adams, and we're actually able to talk to each other about this stuff, which is amazing as it is.
Surprising, very surprising.
But the thing is that every Yankees and Boston fan will tell you the same thing. You could go 0 for 90, but if you come into the Boston series and hit 2 home runs, you're still okay. You are measured completely on one thing, and that's how you play against either team. That's both teams' fans right there. Boston Red Sox fans, New York Yankee fans. Be crappy everywhere else, play well against that team, and you're okay.
What alarms you the most about watching the Yankees? And aside from the injuries, what do you pin this 14-1 shellacking on the most? The able-bodied person that could have done better last night for the Yankees, who is to blame?
Here's the thing. I never thought he was. I think he's too young. He doesn't have the mental aptitude for it yet. I don't think Severino is a big game pitcher. He proved that last year in the wild card game. They had to yank him with 1 out in the first inning. He gets himself into a mode where if he falls behind or they were laying off the sliders outside the zone because it wasn't really snapping that much and it wasn't anywhere close to the plate. So when he gets himself into a zone like that, it just unravels for him quickly. Okay, the bullpen is not what it was. What I expected it to be. The bullpen has actually been one of the biggest problems so far this year. Look, they've had the lead in how many of these games and have lost 3 or 4 of these games because the bullpen comes in and cannot hold a lead. The other night, Betances gave up the cycle of stolen bases to one guy in one inning.
That's impossible.
And by the way,
That's
Pilar,
unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
Pilar is not fast. He stole
That's
second,
unbelievable.
third, and home.
You're eating a sandwich the whole way
On the
down there.
same,
That's
on the
unreal.
same pitcher. That
How do you,
doesn't
by the time you, I mean, this is in the same round. It's not the same game.
same.
It's not a different
inning.
at bat.
The same inning.
Yes, that's unbelievable.
I don't know if-
That's unbelievable.
Stole home also.
That's
and
just-
by the way, when he took off for home, Betances had the ball and looked at him and then threw the ball away. Those are the things. There's a lot of things that the Yankees aren't doing great right now. They're not situational hitting. Their defense has been horrible. Their pitching hasn't been great. When the starting pitching's been good, the bullpen hasn't been great. When the bullpen's been great, the offense hasn't scored. They lost 2 extra inning games at home to the freaking Baltimore Orioles, who are atrocious.
Yeah.
Their bullpen, that one of the games when they went to like the 15th, 16th inning, the Yankees had 9 innings of shutout baseball from their bullpen. Their offense couldn't do anything. The other night, they had the bases loaded with Judge up, no outs, with a chance to tie or win the game, and Judge hit it right back to the pitcher, to home, to third, 2 outs, Stanton strikes out, game over. Those are the kind of things that are happening early on in the season. I don't want to play too much into it because it is April, but these games do still count in the final standings. If you miss the playoffs by 3 games, it still matters.
You point back to these last 2 weeks.
But I think another thing, too, is Boone is he's overthinking. So last night you sat Brett Gardner because you didn't want him to face a lefty pitcher. So you sit down Brett Gardner, and it's not like you pulled some stud up from AAA. You pulled a kid from AAA who's batting a $176 in AAA. How do you bat a 176 in AAA and get to the bigs? When has that ever happened? Where the guy's like, man, I'm on fire. I'm hitting 176. I'm going to the show, guys. So
everybody on that team had to be like going, What?
What are you doing?
You got called up for the Red Sox series?
Exactly.
Jeez.
Who made that call?
So he
Was
comes
it a
up
prank?
and no surprise, the kid goes 0 for whatever. He's not great. Meanwhile, you've got Didi and Judge nowhere near each other because, again, Boone's like, oh, it's a lefty pitcher. We can't have this. We got to match. And this. Here's the deal. Judge is hitting 330. Didi is hitting 385. That right there should be 2 and 3. Let Stanton figure his crap out. Let Sanchez figure it out. Gardner,
and by the way, Stanton not
Didi.
bad.
Yeah.
Stanton did strike out his first 2 at bats last night.
2 hits last night, though.
But then, he comes off and he gets a single and a double.
That was a fine game.
By the way, he's already got 3 home runs because he had 2 in his first game.
Right.
So, look, if you look at his stats from last year when he had 59 home runs, this is about where he was last season. This exact space. So, he's not a quick starter. He's facing new pitching. It's freaking cold. I get all that. You're hoping that that's going to help him turn it around once he gets where it gets a little warmer, gets into May and June. We'll see.
I think that'll help.
Give Aaron Boone a letter grade right now.
Oh, C-, and I'm being nice.
I think the question is everybody automatically went to Giancarlo Stanton not being ready for the New York media. But do you think that maybe Aaron Boone is not ready to take over this team?
I mean,
in that
he's
type
played
of
there.
Here's
it
the
doesn't
deal.
make a difference, but it's a big difference between playing and having to manage the team.
So here's the deal. So everyone's like, "Oh, Aaron Boone has the best impersonations ever." Hey, how about you impersonate someone who knows how to manage a baseball team? Just give us an impersonation of someone who knows how to handle a bullpen.
Good idea.
Impersonate that for me, will you?
Let me ask you this, Leo. With Aaron Boone, is there too much overreaction here, or is he getting himself into a situation where in October, if the Yankees are fighting to make the playoffs, does he have to worry about his job after 1 year?
No, listen, I don't think the Yankees would ever say, look, you're one and done. But I said this a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to say it again. With this team and the talent on this team, the Yankee fans are not interested in a manager in training. You don't got a year to learn this, dude. Yeah. My whole thought process, when he was hired, and people ask me, what do you think about Boone? And I'm like, well, apparently Cashman must have heard something from this guy that made him feel that he was major league ready to do this job. Otherwise, why the hell would Cashman ever have hired him? So I had that faith that the only reason why he's even here is because he knows better.
Trust the process.
Right. So the first couple games, I'm over there like, I don't know now. I'm like,
now you've got me on edge here.
I'm just some dude sitting on my couch screaming at my TV. What the hell do I know? But I'm looking at things like this. Marcus Thames is your hitting coach. The guy's a career 240 hitter. It's like they went to this guy and said, "Hey, man, you really sucked as a hitter. Come teach our guys."
So they're calling up the guys with the 176, 240 career hitters.
Hey, dude, you were the guy that always had leg cramps and never drank enough water. Come be our conditioning coach.
Oh, jeez.
I don't get it. I'm just like,
if you can't do teach, is that what?
How are you really crappy at something, and then you get hired to teach other people how to do said thing?
How do you feel about the Yankees not being the best team in New York, and by far?
Oh, dude, don't get me started about
which one's worse.
Listen.
Is it the Red Sox that are 9-1 or the Mets that are 9-1? Like, which one is worse for Yankees fans?
Mets. I liked the pinstripes the first time the Yankees did it. Like, I don't know, 30 years before you did. Like,
got him started.
Listen, even your New York Mets little signature looks like the Yankee. Like, did you have anything original? Anything? I mean, besides the horrible orangeness of your uniform, that's just. I mean, but seriously,
9-1.
They got a bullpen.
I'm just
9-1.
Who cares?
They're 9-1.
That's not gonna last. It can't.
It can't.
No, the Mets are not this good.
That's
They're
what I'm
not.
wondering. Are they this good? Like, do they have a sustainable future this year?
The people in that part of New York and Jersey, let's talk about the simplicity of their teams. Nets, Jets, Mets. Look, guys, we got to make them rhyme. Otherwise, they're going to start forgetting stuff. I'm just saying.
So bad.
I'm just.
You can buy one jersey and just swap out the one letter over and over again.
Anyways.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm in a mood. I'm in a mood.
I got you.
You uncorked the deal, man.
One track mind.
Well,
for the New
we
York
had to let
sports teams.
Leo unload a little bit.
God.
What do you think about tonight? What's going to happen tonight?
Oh, God. It's Tanaka?
Okay.
15-1. What do you want?
I was going to say, not going to be any better.
No.
Well, we will talk about the one team that is trending to be worse than the infamous 1962 Mets. Of course, we're talking about the Marlins, who's in the series with the Mets.
Oh, boy.
Just how bad their numbers really look. That's going to be coming up here on Kevin's other show. And we're going to get a little bit pretty. The reason why you got to check out this show on YouTube coming up next, Miami Dolphins cheerleaders.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah,
Is Dieter going to be able to handle himself?
Probably not.
I'm going to try.
It's coming up next.
Yep, he's here too. It's Kevin's other show, right here on 640 The Hurricane.
Oh, look at you, Diener.
See? Come on, man. I got some different songs for different situations.
Give me the boy bands in here.
Got some NSYNC going. Why not?
Want you back. All right.
I got you in your groove
Oh,
now.
I love it, man. I'm in my groove. You got
Sad human being.
Special guests in here today. Definitely picking up the ugliness in this room from these guys. Allie and Emily here.
Thank goodness.
Making this whole thing look a lot better.
Speak for yourself,
Yeah.
Kevin.
Mm-hmm. They're Miami Dolphins cheerleaders getting all ready. There's a couple football-related things we got going on this weekend. They're going to be doing the tryouts. First wave, it's the first round of the auditions to be a Miami Dolphins cheerleader. We're going to have information if that's something that you want to do coming up here in a bit. Just exactly how to do that. And then we got the draft, about 2 weeks away from
2
now?
weeks? You believe that already?
Coming on up here. So, yeah.
Feeling confident there, Diener?
Nope. Not at all.
Come on, man.
That's
Have
not
some
fair.
faith.
I mean, come on. I mean,
Have
they've
some faith.
been so nice to come join us, and you're going
Yeah.
to dog on their team like that?
Yeah.
How dare you?
It's because I'm a lifelong suffering Dolphins fan is what it is. And I'm just jaded. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, girls. I am.
Well,
It's
we
terrible.
have confidence. We are looking forward to the season.
See,
There you
look
go,
at that.
good.
There's the confidence you need.
There's always so many questions that I want to know, just what it's like to be a Dolphins cheerleader. And I don't know that I'm ever going to get the chance. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Hey, you might have missed the boat.
Because-
I think you might have aged out.
Yeah,
That's
I think
why.
I
Saturday.
think yeah. One, I think, but you don't allow there's no guy cheerleaders with the Dolphins, right?
We haven't had experience in the past few years that guys have auditioned, so
Okay. You know the LA Rams are doing it now.
I am aware that they have had they have a
Okay.
co-ed team now, so
So do you think? I mean, would you want to do the guy cheerleader things that matter to you one way or the other, or are you just like, are you happy that it's kind of an all girl?
I
Squad
love our
kinda
team
thing.
and I love what we're doing. I trust our leadership and what they would want the
Oh,
direction
look
of the
at
team
that.
to be in the future. So whatever they want to
There we
do.
go.
It's like she's running for office.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I didn't know we had Ryan Tannehill on the show with that answer.
Nice
Goodness
work
gracious.
on
Is there
that.
such thing as
Wow.
cheerleader speak?
Yeah, wow, that's very impressive.
Good job.
Tell me, because I'm kind of curious, like what kind of perks Dolphins cheerleaders get that, we may not expect. Like, do you guys, one of the questions I had, do Dolphins cheerleaders go to away games? And you do, right?
Go ahead.
No, so we don't go to away games. We stick to home games.
Okay.
However, this year we were super fortunate that one of our home games was the London game.
Oh, yeah.
So our entire squad got to go
Stadium.
to London. We performed on Wembley Stadium all
Cool.
together.
Okay.
So that was pretty incredible.
Did anybody, like, for any possible reason, just time change or, too many libations
too many
or something,
pints or
not
something?
show up on time or
No.
There
No,
again,
we don't
it's-
have. We are always
that's
early.
not-
everybody's there
Not a
and
thing.
punctual? Yeah.
5 minutes early is late.
For
Yeah.
all of us, it was such an honor to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, just tell us the time, tell us what we're wearing, and
Yeah.
we're there.
They're actually already at the home opener. This is just a ghost of
Yes, that's true.
Okay. They're that good. Huh?
They're that
Always ready.
prompt.
Always ready. Always ready.
Uh-huh.
We're here.
Like, look, so what are like some of the rules that they have for Miami Dolphins cheerleaders? Like when you're on the squad, like what would it take? Be like, okay, she's just unruly. She's got to go. Like she's out of here. Because I've always heard like one, you can't date players.
So we do have an anti-fraternization policy just because
Yeah.
it's like your coworkers. So
Yeah.
we cheer them on the sidelines. We're their biggest fans.
Okay.
We do have rules, but it's always just to keep our team prestigious and looking classy. Nothing that is out of the blue, like ridiculous. We know that we don't represent ourselves anymore, that we represent the Miami Dolphins cheerleaders and the Miami Dolphins organization in general.
Okay.
So we just try to carry ourselves in a respectful and classy way.
I got you. Okay. Keep it nice and classy. That's good. All right. So how often do you guys interact with players? Is that often, or is it you guys always kind of doing your own thing on the field and they're always separate doing their deal?
They're separate doing their thing on the field, and we're separate doing our thing.
Yeah.
Each of us individually are very focused. We have appearances and stuff where there's alumni players and players there, but like
Yeah.
you said before, we just do our own thing, and we're there to be cheerleaders, not their friends, just their fans.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
they're
got
not
you.
friends with them.
You don't
We're
start
their
the
biggest
show.
fans. We're their biggest fans.
We all have a job to do on the field, so
Yes.
we hope that
Yeah.
they do theirs to the best, and we're going to do
Ours
our
to
job
the
the
best.
best. we
Leave
can.
it.
Yeah.
Leave it to the Jets fan to
I'm
try and
just-
start
no,
trouble.
I'm
with the
going
Dolphins.
down the
I mean,
journalistic aspect of
there's
this.
part
That's
of it. I mean, I
why.
think it's kind of fair because I think isn't Rob Gronkowski? I think his girlfriend is a former Patriots cheerleader, and I think that they somehow met along the way. And then I assume there's got to be some
Handshake, wink, nod, nod deal.
Well, there's got to be some kind of like, all right, being with you is a lot better than going out and being on the cheerleading squad. And so at some point, I'm sure she had to make that decision to. 'Cause I assume that's probably uniform, right?
I would assume so.
All across the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine it happens. I mean,
Yeah.
it's never been a story where a cheerleader has never fallen in love with an NFL player. I mean, come on.
I mean, come on.
It's not that
Hey,
it
it's
doesn't
just-
exist.
It's just
You
life.
ever read Nicholas Sparks?
Yeah. So Allie and Emily here from the Miami Dolphins. What are some of the other perks that you guys get that we don't know other than really cool tracksuits?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
the
We,
tracksuits are pretty awesome, and
They're impressive.
Great on everyone's skin tone, by the way.
you
Very
got
nice.
some extra bling on that too.
We
Is
do,
that-
we
oh,
do.
yeah. Is that
If I were
Swarovski?
to think of something, so coming into the squad, I always envisioned us as we get the glamorous uniform and we get to perform on the field.
Yeah.
But I think
So much more than that.
What's so amazing about it is that that's such a small part of what we do.
Yeah.
We have an annual swimsuit fashion show. We
Yep.
go on multiple military tours.
Right.
dope.
I just recently got to go on a cruise with one of our new sponsors.
Awesome.
We do a ton of philanthropic work.
Yep.
So there's so much that we do outside of our yard lines that I think that's just
Yeah.
not the biggest perk of being a Miami
I mean,
Dolphins cheerleader.
I thought when I made the team, it was just going to be cheering on the sidelines. And I made it 18 years old. I was still in high school, and I was like, oh, my gosh, like,
Yeah.
getting to cheer in front of 65,000 people. And shortly after, I found out, like, I've been to 13 countries now in 2 years. Visiting
No
military.
way.
Yeah, and it's so amazing
Dang.
to go and, like, be able to shake their hands and say thank you for
Yeah.
giving us safety and security every day. We get to perform for them, which that's one of the most awesome things we get to do.
Right.
And like she said, we have a swimsuit fashion show that showcases everything that
That's
we
a big
shoot
deal
in our
every year,
swimsuit
yeah.
annual. And it's held at the stadium, and it's this beautiful event.
Right.
And we get to showcase our sponsors and different things like that. We've had over 300 appearances the past
Wow.
year at local corporations, foundations, schools, hospitals. So there's so much that we get to do that you can't even put a price on.
Now, were either of you in the "Call Me Maybe" video?
No, that was before both of our
Okay,
time.
I didn't know. Yeah, I was gonna say
Before both of our time, but
Okay.
I mean, we've been in different countries before that people have asked us about that video, so I'm glad that
that's
it's
funny.
recognizable overseas.
Would you give up 4 countries to be in the "Call Me Maybe" video?
4 out of the 13.
Or is that no?
Maybe.
That ruins a lot of line of questioning now.
Okay.
And actually, fun fact, Allie and I got to go on a military tour together this year.
Yeah, we did.
So,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Where'd
so
you
we
go?
went for
We went to
awesome.
Europe and we went to Italy, Cyprus,
And the Azores.
and the
Wow.
Azores, which is they're a chain of 9 islands off the coast of Portugal, like in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
So awesome. That's very cool.
Tryouts are Saturday? Can I try out? I mean, you get all
Hey,
these perks.
We have a prep
Goodness.
class Friday
I'll-
night
I'll
that you
save
can
you
learn
some
audition
time,
choreography at.
Nah.
It's not going to work.
Like I
I'll save
said,
you-
aqua and orange look good on everyone.
That's it. Save you a little bit of time.
Thanks.
Okay, I want to play a fun little game here. Diener versus Dolphins.
Ooh.
Our boy
Let's go.
Diener right there is going up
Funny.
against our Dolphins cheerleaders, Allie and Emily. This is, believe it or not, Dolphins memorabilia. Tell me if you think you can actually go online, find this, and buy this.
Okay.
Dan Marino autographed bathrobe. What do you
Okay.
think?
What?
Dan Marino autographed bathrobe.
I'm going to say
If you want that, can you buy that? What do you think, Diener?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes on that one.
Okay,
Leaning
Dolphins
toward
cheerleaders,
yes.
what do you think?
Let's say no.
No.
Dolphins are correct.
Yes, here we go.
1-0 for the Dolphins girls.
Wow, Diener, you are really some Dolphins fan. You
This
are.
is why I'm a Dolphins fan. It's so sad.
Is it because you want a bathrobe autograph?
That's
You want
probably,
it
I
to be
mean,
true?
if you have one lying around, he might take it.
Wishful thinking.
Okay, next item here. Believe it or not, Dolphins memorabilia. Handcrafted marble dolphins mating in flight.
Jeez.
In flight.
In flight. Yeah, because, you know, they hop.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's while they're coming out of the
Yes,
water.
absolutely. And
That's
it's
talent.
Yes.
My goodness.
Okay, what do you think on that Diener versus Dolphins here?
All right, that sounds a little too wacky. I'm going to say not real.
Not real. Dolphins, what do you think?
I think we have to agree no.
I'm going to say no.
Gonna say no. You are all wrong.
Oh,
It
no
is
way.
$150 right now on Craigslist.
Oh, that's
And
You gotta be
I
kidding
know
me.
what I'm getting you both for Christmas.
Is
Yeah.
that like Miami Dolphins memorabilia or just a
We
like,
spent Christmas
Dolphin
together, by the way. Speaking of
Oh, there
Christmas.
you go.
Oh, yes, we did.
Yeah, it was somebody that made it for Miami Dolphins, but I don't believe it's league sanctioned.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so that's a technicality.
Yeah.
So we're right.
I mean, she's got you on that
These
one.
girls, Allie and Emily are so competitive. They don't want to lose this. Yeah.
Good.
They don't want
Okay.
to lose to Diener. That's
All right.
why.
That's a good reason.
Next
yeah.
item here. Believe it or not, Dolphins memorabilia, Diener versus Dolphins, an authentic Orange Bowl toilet. It was removed from the Orange Bowl before they tore it down. Can you buy that online? Yes or no? Diener.
I'm going to say yes on that one. There was a lot of crazy stuff being ripped up from that stadium on the last game.
Seats, yep.
Yep.
I think we're going to have to agree
Yeah.
yes.
Gonna have to
Sure.
agree. You are both wrong. I did
gotta
not
be
see
kidding
it.
me.
I did
What?
not see that. I made that up.
I know that there are seats because I know someone that
There are
has a
seats.
seat
I don't think there's
from
an
the Orange
actual
Bowl.
toilet
yeah, but
from
toilet seat. I think
the Orange
the
Bowl.
specifics of the game is really where we
Yes.
stand.
I
here.
just remembered there were no toilet seats in the Orange Bowl. So there's
Really?
in the men's room?
They had the bowl, but they didn't have the seat.
The men's room was
Okay, what about the women's room?
Yeah.
The men's.
the
They've
seat
used the
was
women's
Why
room.
did you go
Yeah.
to men's?
It could have been from the women's room.
Okay.
All right.
You don't want to be in the men's room with the Orange
Diener's
Bowl.
got to get this
fan.
one to tie it. What do you think? Is this, believe it or not, Dolphins memorabilia, Don Shula's tooth? What do you think? Don Shula's tooth. Can you actually buy that online, Diener?
The venerable Don Shula.
Yes.
He's getting up there, so he's probably lost a couple of teeth.
Oh
And
my
why not-
God!
So why not
That's the way
make,
you go with
why not make
this?
I love his rationale.
I just want
Well,
to say
he's-
Don Shula is one of the most wonderful
Yes.
human beings
Absolutely.
I've ever met.
I was
So nice.
starstruck.
Yeah.
Like, when
He's
I
so
would be.
cool.
I
He's
would-
so cool on the
He
game
came
day.
into
He has his
appearance,
shades
yeah.
on. I'm
He's
like,
super
God,
cool. So
dude,
imagine
yeah,
if you could
cool.
own one of his teeth.
All right, so you met him
No,
before.
I never did.
Like, you sold it so well.
I'm saying no.
What would you do for one
I'm
of Don
saying
Shula's
no.
teeth? It's amazing.
I'm going yes. I gotta try and tie it.
I love
I
it.
say no.
Yeah, we're saying no.
No.
You're saying no?
I gotta go yes.
Gosh, be bold, but no, your Dolphins are right.
Yes, we know our fins.
It's 2-0.
Even what
There
she's
you
I
go.
on
can't
the
believe he
internet.
goes, well, he's getting old. He's probably lost a few teeth.
I just, what I love
Talk
is,
about our country.
I
like,
know,
what-
I loved
what
how
an
he was
angle.
working it out. You know, it was like, even with the Orange Bowl toilet, he had this whole rationale. of,
Well, they gave took a lot of
this whole
stuff
thing was
away.
working
so,
out. Allie and Emily, you both were fantastic. Miami Dolphins cheerleaders, make sure you go see them every single time they're on the field, and make sure you go check out the auditions. Going to be held at the Baptist Health Training Facility on Saturday. Registration at 8:30, competition at 10. You got to get your applications accepted now through Friday at 5 p.m. online. we will get that up for you. What is the website? Do you happen to know?
If you go on dolphinscheerleaders.com, you can navigate our whole website. It's very user-friendly.
There you go, Diener.
Everything you need to know.
And it's actually not too late to sign up for our Friday prep class.
Okay.
So
That's
sign up for that. And
Get
sign
those
up for auditions.
calisthenics in there,
Yeah.
Diener.
I'm ready.
All right, baby.
Be part of the show on Twitter at 640 The Hurricane, hashtag Kevin's Other Show.
He's all frazzled.
I forgot to play rejoin music.
My lord.
That's what happens. Put cheerleaders in
A
front of
couple
me.
of good-looking women in here, and all of a sudden, Diener goes out the window.
I really hope you can rebound for the rest of the show. If you're just like trending down, we're in serious trouble, man.
Yeah, we're in a lot of trouble.
We're in serious trouble.
Give me a couple minutes.
Come on, you got to pull it back together.
I think I'm good.
I guess if you had to fail, this is the right segment. We're talking Marlins.
Listen, it's not the first time I failed. It will not be the last.
It's bad. We knew it was going to be bad, but I just like to check in. If you want to pop in, be like going, hey, how bad is it? I haven't really been watching the Marlins. Well, you're not alone. Not a lot of people have been watching the Marlins. I think league lowest attendance. Congratulations.
Nice.
That's great. Yeah.
Got me known for something.
Yeah. 7,003 last night.
7,000?
7,003. That was the lowest ever attendance recorded at Marlins Park. 7,003 people.
There's more people at Glade Central versus Pahokee football.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
That's not a lie. That's not a lie.
No, not at all.
No, that's legit. I mean, they're bordering on spring training crowds.
Wow.
Yeah, the capacity for Marlins Park is 36,742.
31,000 empty seats.
That's insane.
It's insane. You're right, it is. Let me see. There's a lot of league lows going on here. I'm not going to stop there.
Didn't we talk about this before? And you were saying, like, what's the over-under on how many?
We did.
And I was saying real low, and you're like, there's no way.
Well, that was for the opener. The opener had a decent enough crowd. But this is, it's getting bad, man. They're already hitting all-time lows. I can't wait to hear what else you have because
I don't think it's going to be better. Yeah. The Marlins are last in ESPN's MLB Power Rankings.
Okay.
The home attendance overall is bad. They're 14th of 15 NL teams in runs per game.
Oh, good. So they're not last.
Well,
they are last in home runs.
Okay.
Last in home runs. And 14th in team ERA.
So they're not doing well.
No.
No.
All the way across the board.
No.
All the way across the board. At this pace, the Marlins will have the NL's worst winning percentage since those infamous 1962 Mets.
Is it going to happen?
122
losses or 120 losses?
It's going to be a career year for losses, underperforming, awfulness. It's going to be one of those years.
This is sad.
There's a 20,000 person difference between Miami and the 29th worst attendance, which is Oakland.
Goodness.
Oakland, the entire season so far, 121,698. And Miami is 107.
I was just reading a really strong argument for disbanding the A's, too. I was like, okay.
If they want to do that, then...
And they're doing a lot better than the Marlins.
We're not looking good if that's the case.
Jesus.
It's crazy.
Less people than go to Tampa Bay Ray games. Like, think about that.
Yeah.
They had to offer bring your own beer night to get people to those games, and there's less at Marlins games.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do to get any kind of fun, because it's only going to get worse, and it's still early. Maybe somebody will forget and be like, oh, that's right, I forgot they were so bad. I don't know I really don't know what it's going to take.
They have 2 wins, right? I think it's 2 wins.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm not keeping track. I'm not. No numbers. I'm going to watch. But yeah, I mean, they're getting to the point they're going to have to plummet their ticket sales, right?
They're going to have to.
I mean, you got to plummet the price of those, and it's just you got to start. I don't know. You got so many seats. I mean, could they put a Ferris wheel in there? Could they put?
That's a good idea.
I mean, you've got plenty of room.
Vegas does residencies. Why can't Pitbull do a residency?
There you go.
Something. Yeah, I mean, you got 31,000 seats to work with. You don't have the All-Star game this year.
No.
A strip club.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Maybe replace the fish tank with a strip club?
Ooh, go-go dancers.
Okay. So not necessarily strip, because you wouldn't be able to show that on TV. But if you have some go-go dancers, like Austin Powers style.
Nobody watches on TV either. So I don't think it makes much of a difference.
No.
Good point.
Yeah. Those numbers are pretty bad, too.
And then there's this weird story. I don't even really fully understand what's going on. But, I mean, to make you feel even worse about the Marlins, there's this shady business that happened with the stadium and the sale. And and it's now carrying over. It's not just about the Jeffrey Loria regime. It's this whole thing where the Marlins have now claimed corporate citizenship in the British Virgin Islands. They're apparently trying to get away from a federal arbitrator that's trying to have this case tried in a Miami courtroom, and they're trying to, I guess, get it overseas. It's all about how much money Loria made on the sale, $1.2 billion. And the suit is against Loria and also the current leadership, which includes Jeter. And so they're calling everybody in.
So they're essentially legally trying to launder money, is what it sounds like.
It's shady.
Yeah.
There's shadiness going on. They're saying, we want to hear this in a court here in Miami. These are the people that we believe you fleeced. And nobody wants to. Everybody's trying to dodge this case. So I don't
like you said, it's not getting any better.
It's not getting any better. It's not getting any better.
That's insane. But no, so now they're basically saying that this is not only are they running a terrible baseball team, but they're also running some type of ring underneath it as well.
Yeah, there's scandal on top of sucky.
Through the British Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
That is something. I mean, we've seen some shady things before, but that's pretty good.
There's not a lot of goodwill going on right now with the Miami Marlins.
Not really.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how they were able to swing the whole sale.
Could be.
That's why I think they need to bring in the yodeling kid. Kid's making everybody feel good. Yeah.
That's how you get people to the park.
Get the yodeling kid. If you haven't seen this kid that started in Walmart, then ended up on the Ellen Show yesterday.
Let it die, kid.
This is some of the most irritating sounds. Wait, listen to the lyrics here, too.
Okay, what do you got?
She do me, she do you, she's got the kind of loving.
What?
I'd love to hear when she called me sweet daddy.
What?
Did he just say, did this 11-year-old kid on Ellen just sing, she'll do me, she'll do you?
That sounded dirty.
Wait, what is this?
She do me, she do you, she's got the kind of loving. I'd love to hear when she called me sweet daddy.
Whoa!
She calls him sweet daddy.
She'll do me, she'll do you. She'll call me sweet daddy.
She's got that kind of loving?
Yeah.
What is this song?
That's the kind of music content they love over there at the Walmart. Oh, no. That's why.
This kid is hysterical, too. He was on Ellen yesterday, and, she did an interview with this yodeling kid.
Yeah.
And he has high aspirations. She's talking about, so when you make it big and you get all this money, what are you going to do with yourself? Here's what he had to say.
Well, I'm going to save up all that money, and I'm going to go to college, and then I'm going to move to Florida.
Okay.
And I'm going to work my way up in a motorhome.
What?
All right.
Good pause.
All right.
Half of the audience doesn't clap right away because they don't know what's going on.
They don't know what to think.
All right. Well, there you go.
Wow,
yeah.
He needs some leadership in his life.
Yeah.
When she asked him why he sings at Walmart, he goes, "Well, it's the only store we have in town."
Oh my goodness.
This kid though is making better decisions than the Marlins though.
Yes.
Oh yes. Unless he's trying to run some type of illegal drug ring underneath Walmart.
I love this kid, the yodeling kid. They're now using him for walk-up music. The Dodgers utility player Kiki Hernandez used a recording of the song as his walk-up music. Yeah, he used that song. And then if you're watching last night's Yankees-Red Sox game in Boston, Joseph Kelly Jr., he entered the game playing. They've got actually a remix.
Oh, no.
Oh, someone remixed it already?
Yeah. You got the yodeling kid, but they've taken his version from Walmart, and they've got like an EDM mix, which would work great here in Miami.
Yeah. Hey.
That's actually pretty dope.
It's kind of dope.
That's not bad.
So this is what, baseball stadiums all over America are rocking out to, man. Yodeling kid.
And people wonder why people don't watch baseball.
Your next viral sensation, 10 million views. This video already has. Kid's 11. His name's Mason Crosby. So good job, kid. Jesus. Coming up here, what do you think about NFL players smoking weed? The arguments for and against. Should they be allowed to do it? We'll discuss in Moral Court next.
Get Kevin's other show whenever the hell you want on YouTube and at 640thehurricane.com.
Hey, Ricky Williams is all into it. In fact, he's making that his new career. He did a lot of it when he was in Miami. I'm talking about the ganja, baby.
I'm pretty sure he did a lot of it all of his life.
Oh, he did, yeah.
We should have asked the cheerleaders about that.
About smoking weed?
Yeah, do you think they would have answered that? She was very politically correct.
She's like, we trust the process. We trust our team. We
Yeah,
love
that
Adam
was-
Gase.
that was
Gosh,
Allie.
they were better than politicians, weren't they? Those Dolphins cheerleaders.
they were very
They've
good.
got to do media vetting. They've got to have some kind of thing like, here's what you say, here's what you do.
Put him in like a hot box.
No,
Well, they had a handler. They had a handler stand in the back of the studio, and she's like just ready to cut things. And so I was
She's looking
watching-
over my shoulder, and like I Google things during the show, and I'm like
Yeah.
trying to Google things, and she's looking. I'm like, I can't Google anything. Like
She's-
I'm afraid of what she's looking at.
she was watching you.
I was watching her because I'm like going, I want to make sure I'm at least going down avenues. I know that if she doesn't look uncomfortable, we're not doing it right.
Yes.
So I kind of kept watching her, and she was like, like she looked.
She was making faces.
Either that or she had to poo. I don't know what was going on, but one of two things is happening. So
I started Googling duct tape and rope. Just to see, maybe that might have been her face at the same time. Obviously, because I was like, I know she's looking, so I might as well freak her out.
They got out of here so fast.
They did. They
Yes,
That's pretty quick.
absolutely.
Oh man.
What do you think about Martellus Bennett, recently retired tight end from the NFL, saying, and this isn't a shock to anybody, but what do you think about his argument? He says 89% of all NFL players smoke marijuana.
I think he's wrong.
You think it's higher?
It's
Much
higher.
higher.
Much higher.
I was going
Much
to say
higher.
that.
Like 99.
I think you should flip those two numbers.
Yeah,
89 to
yeah.
98.
98, yeah,
Yeah.
98%.
That's probably
and the
close.
only person not is what, Drew Brees, maybe?
That's probably it, yes.
Seems like-
It's because he hasn't hung out with anybody cool enough to be able to pass it to him yet. That's why. They pass it right over his tiny little head.
And Tom Brady probably. I don't see Tom Brady doing it.
I don't know,
It may not be
man. I
part
think
of his
back in
TB12.
I think maybe back in the day.
Back in the day.
He surprised you, though, man. He surprised
Yeah.
me with that beer chugging
That's
thing he did.
true.
Yeah.
He's
That is
probably,
true.
he's probably done heroin in his life. Or
Oh my
something.
gosh.
Well, I mean, you never know. He's a strong man.
No.
He did
can
get kind of
handle
skinny
it.
though.
No.
Little
Now,
booger sugar.
Martellus Bennett said there's times of the year where your body just hurts so bad that you don't want to be popping pills all the time.
Sure.
It ruins your liver.
Horrible for you.
And he justifies it. God made weed, which has got to be on a shirt somewhere in Key West right now.
Well, it's true though. I mean, you're talking about a supplement that can actually be able to help you with pain that is not fabricated in a lab.
Yeah.
It's something that you can literally grow
Yeah.
and use.
I don't even, and this is it for me. I'm not, I'm honest, even on KVJ and honest here. I'm not like a pot smoker guy, but I've got no problem with it, and especially when I see, and man, here we are in South Florida. If you've ever done any time, like my wife works at a drug rehab place in Delray. Stories I hear and what I see just from that, I'm like,
God, just go to Starbucks over there.
it's insane.
True.
I'm like, it's a massive, massive problem. That
It
it's
is.
like, okay, hitting all these people up with marijuana, they can't be worse off. They can't be worse off than what they are. And if a lot of these people, and so often I hear these stories of somebody gets into a car accident or they got a painkiller and then they get hooked, and next thing you know, they're on that heroin train.
Yeah.
They can't kick it. I mean, hey, what's the difference when you're talking about an NFL player? And if you've ever seen that sports science they do on ESPN, and they've broken it down, when you've got 265-pound linebacker coming at you with 4.4 speed from 15 yards away, it's like getting hit by a BMW at like 35 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So imagine how many car crashes you have, averaging 2 to 3 of those kind of contacts per game. I mean, imagine what your body feels like, and that's been well documented enough.
Yeah. No,
So
I mean,
what do you want
obviously it's very dangerous for your
What do you want
body.
these guys to do? You want them to pop the pain pills and wind up with a worse problem to go with the CTE they're going to have?
Right.
Or you want them smoking the ganja?
Well, it makes you it baits the question, why is the NFL not behind this?
I think the reason why is still with laws. It's still a federal law. It's still federally in every state. You still can't smoke marijuana. So, in Colorado, go ahead and do it, but you're still breaking a federal law. State law allows it. Here very soon in Florida, we've got the medicinal marijuana.
Yeah.
Probably going to get the recreational really quick because it's happened that way in other states. But until I think they change the federal law, I don't think the NFL is going to bend on it. But I really wish they would consider it because I think they need to.
I think they do too. I mean, it's one of those things where I think the way around it, and I'm like you, I'm not a pot smoker, but I have no problem with it. I get why people do it, and especially in this case as well, It's a lot better than taking all these pain pills. I mean, why you? That's ruining your body.
Right.
You're ruining your body playing football. You're just doubling it now with all these pills.
But the NFL could and should be bold. That even though the laws don't match up, could and should be bold to the point where they say, you know what, we're going to take it off. We're not going to test for it. If you're doing it, you're doing it.
That's
Whatever.
the way around it, right?
Yes.
They don't have to say we're allowing it. They're not.
We're not
just
saying
have to say
light up, but we're saying we're not going to test for it.
Exactly.
It's just something that, hey, we're not going to do.
Exactly.
They'll never do it though, because
they should do
it.
Yeah, but they're not going to do it because the people that run those businesses are in with big business. They're in with big pharma. This is the psychosis of big pharma in the first place, because when everybody started doing heroin, then they wanted to give them an opportunity to be able to get off of the heroin. So what did? They created a synthetic heroin called oxycodone.
Right.
And then from there you get hooked to that. Now we got to create another synthetic drug to get you off of that. That's Suboxone. Then from Suboxone, then you have another drug. They just keep going down the thing. But the problem is because the money that they make off of these tiny little pills that literally kill people, if they were to take that away, the amount of money that they can be able to make from that doesn't even come close to what they're losing by using marijuana, because they don't have to hire all these people. They don't have to get all these labs. They don't have to have all these grants. It's just a plant.
Do you not, if you're the NFL, send a major statement to caring about your players if you stop testing for marijuana?
They don't care about their players. Whoever said that the NFL actually gave a flying crap about their players?
Well,
they don't. They're puppets.
They don't, but if you start getting all these massive amounts of lawsuits, do you not want to maybe start doing some goodwill gestures? And if you're the NFL, wouldn't this be one if 89% of NFL players are smoking marijuana and the league said, we're not going to test for that anymore,
I wish.
If you do it, you do it. Would the NFL players themselves be like, wow, that's a really cool move of you. Thank you.
Yeah.
We feel a lot better about all this.
There's no way in hell, man. It's because these people, they dine at the same restaurants. They go to the same doctors.
So they're in bed together, these big companies in NFL,
all of them are. All of them are.
Huh.
Absolutely. They feed into big pharma just like everybody else. The government feeds into big pharma.
What do you want to lose? Big pharma dollars, or lose all the money in these lawsuits that are coming with CTE?
Every single person.
That's what they have to decide.
Every single person that enters into the NFL, there's always 10 to 15,000 of them behind them. So if these guys start bailing out because they're getting hurt too early, there's always somebody. They will always have a product because that is a gigantic stage for them. They'll always have a product. So they don't have to worry about losing people, and that's why they don't give a crap about them.
So we all agree it should happen in the NFL, but you'll say it's not going to happen.
I don't think it'll ever happen.
Ever. Okay, no. If they change the federal laws, you think the NFL
if they change the federal law, yeah, under this certain condition, I don't think it will ever happen.
How many states would it take? Let's say that
you'd have to have a majority.
Let's say that let's say that we get to 60% of NFL cities in that state, marijuana is legal. Does the NFL finally stop testing and allow it to happen?
In probably about 15, 20 years when all of these old politicians die, yeah, maybe we could be able to do that. But for right now, no. This is the same problem that baseball has, is that they won't change anything about it because it's an old white man sport and they don't want to do anything about it. They want to keep it the exact same way, but that's not the way that it's going to work. So eventually, when all these people that are running baseball now die off, then maybe they'll do some change. But until now, nothing's going to change. Yeah. They're just going to keep letting people kill themselves.
It's a shame.
It's okay, though.
Well, we've got a great show for you with the Fort Rock Festival.
Now, we got to end on such a negative. It was like so hardcore there with us.
Well, no, that's a serious conversation.
It is. But, I think the answer is laid out right there. I mean, you could say negative, and I think that the one thing about it is just it's like, look, I think it's a focus that needs to happen. I think the more people need to start speaking out against the NFL and doing this and saying, look, just do it that way.
It's just it's so hypocritical.
It is.
That's negative. What they're doing is negative.
Yeah.
We have to talk about it, though, because they're idiots.
Yeah, on blast, baby.
That's right.
Want to go VIP to Fort Rock Festival, see Ozzy, Godsmack, Stone Temple Pilots, Five Finger Death Punch, Stone, Sour, and Shinedown. It's going to be at Markham Park, April 28th, 29th. VIP gives you the entrance VIP. Your tickets are VIP. It gives you the lounge. It gives you the viewing area, which you want. Because you don't want to be by headbangers, man. These guys are out of control.
Violent. Very violent.
They're not on marijuana. They're not smoking weed.
No. They'd be very calm if they
were.
Not
just by itself, at least.
Not by itself, no. And you definitely want to get in the VIP restrooms.
Yes.
Because, my gosh, you don't want to be in...
Imagine the Tortuga has poop in the sand.
Oh, you don't want it.
God only knows what's in the dirt there.
You don't want it. So you go to 640thehurricane.com right now and you sign up. Want to see this show, and did you miss the really hot Dolphins cheerleaders that we had in studio. You can see it on the YouTube show. Just go Kevin's Other Show when you go onto YouTube. Same thing with the podcast, and always here at 640 The Hurricane.
You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. And by Brayman Motor Cars in West Palm Beach. A world-class experience. Shop BraymanPorsche.com now. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.